Hi everyone, this is Sjctnc welcoming you to this YouTube channel. This video is for the paper Foundation Course 1. Here in this video, we'll see Unit 2 Communication Skills. Understanding communication. First, what is communication? We know very well. Now I'm speaking, you're listening. This is a way of communicating. Communication means exchange of ideas. When we have something to say, we used to communicate it to another person. It can be through verbal or it can be through non-verbal. When we are very young, once we are born, we used to communicate through our cry. So through eye contact and just by using symbols, hand signs, we used to communicate with each other. So communication is a basic thing in the human world. Each and everything used to communicate something to someone else. Not only human beings, animals used to communicate, birds used to communicate. Not only animals and birds, all the living things used to communicate. Even in a step ahead, you can imagine yourself that inanimate objects. So the non-living things also communicate certain things to human beings or to something else in a personified way. So communication is a basic element of this worldly life. So how we communicate? So first, what is communication and how does communication takes place? What are the essential of effective communication are the things that we are going to say in this video. Before that, what is communication? So it's very simple. You can see this here. Communication is the exchange of information or ideas. We can easily say it is the exchange of information or ideas. So it is the art or act of expressing a message in a way that allows others to understand. So a sender wants to send something to the receiver. So here the sender is speaking or conveying something to the receiver. Now communication, only the communication takes place in a single way? No. Communication takes place when the sender has a message to communicate and a purpose to communicate. Not simply you can talk anything. You must have a purpose of your communication. Now, how does communication takes place? So communication can take place in two ways, two major classification. One is verbal, another one is non-verbal. So verbal communication, one will be talking to you through words. That is called as verbal communication. Whereas non-verbal communication, you can have map, diagrams, charts, even your eyes, or you can say the symbol language or sign language, those things are called as non-verbal communication without using words. And apart from that, communication can take place in face-to-face mode, or two persons can talk to each other by seeing one face-to-face, or through online mode. This is the online way of communication. So through telephone you can talk, or through letter also you can talk. Next one is communication can take place in both the modes. One is spoken mode or the written mode. Now this is spoken mode. I'm talking to you, you're listening. Not only spoken is used here, as well as written is also, writing is also used. You can see the words here, and through words also I can communicate to you. And it can be in a social situation or in a personal situation. You can talk with your friend in a personal situation, or in a social communication means a meeting. And next to it, communication can take place in various situations also. So what are the situations? First one is formal situation, semi-formal and informal. So first, what is formal situation? Formal situation, you can imagine a very formal way in your college or in your school, in your office, and so that is the formal way of communication. You can communicate with your higher officials, your teachers, your staff members, or your co-manager and your higher official, that is called as formal situation. And your semi-formal can be with your colleagues, not your friends, it can be your co-workers, that is called as semi-formal situation. Next one is informal situation with your friends. Of course, the language varies among these three situations. Informal language, informal communication will be highly concentrating on the words that we are using, as well as in semi-formal situation we will be highly conscious in the matter of what to talk and what not to talk. And next one, in the informal situation, some informal words can be used. Hi, how are you? You can ask that to your higher official too, but the tone will be varying. Next, each of these situations defines a style of language used in the communication. What are the essentials of effective communication? So, if your communication want to be in an effective way, there are certain criteria you need to be aware of. So, what is that? First one is using appropriate voice and body language. So, voice can be with both the communication through online mode or to face-to-face interactions. Body language here stands only for face-to-face interaction. When you are attending a meeting, you must be highly confident and your body, your postures must be used accordingly. So that is called as high effective use of body language. Next, effective use of voice. When you are in a highly happy mood, but the situation is, the surrounding around you is not so happy, you must not expose your mood of happiness in your voice. So that is effective use of voice. The intonations, the high pitch, low pitch, those things must be concentrated. Next one, understanding the situation and the people involved in it. So this is that. So when you're highly happy, you can expose it when your surroundings to enjoy the same situation. But when it is vice versa, you must not show it. So you must understand your surrounding correctly and you have to communicate. Next one is understanding the message being communicated. So what you're talking must be understandable to you first than the receiver. So what the matter you're going to convey must be reaching the receiver in a correct way. That you have to be concentrated. Next one is responding appropriately. This one is highly important. When we are not in a attending mood or when our concentration is somewhere else, as if we used to do in the classrooms, we will be dreaming out, but one person is going to be keep on shouting inside the classroom. That situation must be coincided here. So responding appropriately. When a question is asked, you have to answer towards that question. The answer must be applying to that question. So it must not go in an opposite way. So these are the things that you have to put in your mind for effective communication. Now, not only this, there are certain gaps in communication. What causes those gaps in communication? First one is cultural variations. So this one is very important because now our culture is completely different from Western culture. So when we are going to communicate with each other, we must be highly compatible in using that language. So if I know English and you know only Tamil, I can't communicate with you in a same language. So cultural variation must be kept in mind. Next one is incorrect sentence and vocabulary or phrases. So you must use correct vocabulary and correct phrases. You must not use correct words in a wrong situations. So when the words you are using must go in hand with the situation and must go in hand according to your surroundings. It must not create any agitation among them. Next one is inappropriate use of language. This one, when the surrounding of you can't understand your language, then it is no use of talking to them. Next one is ability to hear. Your audible voice must be kept in mind. Next one is non-standard accents. Your accent must be in a correct standard. If your accent is wrong, the meaning can or the pronunciation of the word can mislead to the receiver. So that will create some problems. So these are the few reasons why the communication gaps arises. I think that will go with this video. What is communication? What are the ways of communication? What are the situations of communication? And what are the essentials of communication? And what is the reason for communication gaps have been dealt in this video. Thanks for watching. Thank you.